So hot.
Wait, wouldn't that be like really chic though? Like wearing your wings and like a bikini top?
Victoria's Secret messaged us being like, are you free September?
Literally. Victoria's Secret who?
Yeah, and I would be like, yeah.
Yes, and yes, we'll be there.
Rock up and we're like backhand stage.
Yeah. All right, Liv, welcome to the Everygirl Podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited. I'm such a huge fan. Love you so much.
Thank you.
So I really want to know, going back from the beginning, who is Liv before Love Island? What was your childhood like?
Oh my God, I had a great childhood. I mean, like, grew up in Australia, by the beach, like, sunny. My dad was an Olympian, so we were always really into sport.
Wait, your dad was an Olympian?
I know, yeah.
Doing what?
He did kayaking. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was in the Olympics.
I feel like
so
it's
cool.
watching it and, like, watching back, like, videos of people doing it. I'm like, I don't know how you say afloat. Like, my arms would be dying.
So did you grow up watching him, like, put in a lot of effort? Like, was he training when you were growing up?
So he, like, trained and coached a lot of, like, I have two brothers, so a lot of us, and we do this thing called like surf lifesaving. It's not big here in America, but it's kind of like lifeguarding at the beach competition style, I would say. But he was very much like, we're just an active family, so he was just always out there helping. And then my mom's the same, she's active, and I had a great childhood. Like, I feel like not saying you can't go wrong in Australia, but
It probably would be hard to be unhappy in Australia. The gorgeous beaches, like, yeah.
Stunning. It's warm. I mean, like, everyone's in a better mood when it's warm.
All Australians seem so happy.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you're like, so why did you leave? No.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want to know is, like, how do you end up on Love Island, especially Love Island USA then?
So me and my cousin moved to Florida Atlantic University because we just wanted to, like, do the college life. We don't have it like that in Australia. So then when I was there, I don't know if they're like scouting the area because I've seen like so many people now from FAU are on Love Island, but they reached out to me the year before and was like, do you want to do it? And I feel like it just wasn't the right time. I was like just joking around with it. So I was like, no, not this year. And then they came back again and was like, do you want to do it? And I'm like, why not? I'll just see if I make it. And then I end up in Fiji.
I know people will say this and I'm always curious, why the first time where you're like, it's not the right time?
I feel like it just, you know when you feel like something's not right? I was still like, I don't know if, I was still like dealing like, do I like this guy? Do I not? I just like, honestly in my timeline, not that I didn't take it seriously, but I was just kind of like, it's not something I want to do. And then the next year, I like fell out with the guy. I was like, I'm single, I'm in Australia. Like, this is once in a lifetime opportunity.
I think it's so amazing because especially for a love-focused show, it is all about where it fits into your current love life.
Yeah.
The timing is everything. One year, you're like, this doesn't make sense. And the next, you're like, fuck it. We just broke up. I'm ready to have my, like, young, fun, single summer, go look for love.
This is what I know I want. It's what I know I like.
Yes. So
That's,
it's
like,
funny
the
that, like,
beauty of the
timing is
show.
everything.
Oh, my God, 100%. And, like, I feel like even in the show, due to, like, how quick the show's filmed, you see how you have to, like, put your heart on the line and, like, how you actually just have to open up because obviously it's a game show. You can get kicked out if you don't connect with anyone. But it's crazy to see how you wait a whole year and see if it fits in your schedule and then fasten it all up in 2 months.
Oh, my God. And then it's all, like, in the blink of an eye. Yes.
Blink of an eye. It's
is
like
crazy.
a year ago. I think a year ago yesterday was, like, the reunion. I'm like, this is... I need to slow down.
So you walked into the villa as gorgeous Bombshell. Everyone was so intimidated for sure. It was like, oh, shit, she's here to, like, fuck up people's relationships. You were the hot new Bombshell. What was your mindset going in? Because you have to have balls to go in as a Bombshell. What was your mindset? Like, what helped you tap into that confidence?
So, honestly, I feel like I've always kind of been a confident person. I obviously not someone who's like, don't give a shit about anyone at all. I would say one of my love languages is definitely acts of service. But going into the villa, I had no idea it was the first Bombshell, or I had no idea who was in there. You don't know anything.
Oh, they didn't tell you anything?
No.
You didn't get to watch the first show? I think it was just like one episode before you came on.
I went in like they went in at night and I went in the next morning. So an episode hadn't gone out yet. But they sat me on the dock and they were just like, are you ready to go? And I was like, sure. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm ready. And then they're like, yeah, you're the first Bombshell. They went in last night. You're going to just take someone's man tonight. Go. And you literally just have to go. So I think it was just like blacked out a little bit. But just like, yeah, again, once in a lifetime opportunity. Got to go for it. Everyone else in there is going for it. So
yeah, you just got to say yes. Figure it out.
Like, you literally just have to go. Like,
would you say you were always a confident person?
Yes. I feel like I'm also like a middle child. Not that
I'm a middle child too, so I totally get
don't
it.
you think they're like confident middle child?
And we also like love attention. Like
Yes.
we'll do some crazy shit to get attention, or at least I will. So
Same.
We're more confident. That's
Yeah.
100% the truth.
And like I have 2 brothers, so I'm like I'm like confident, but I feel like my parents really like instilled in me that be true to who you are, you know your worth, you don't need to please everyone, but as long as you're nice. So I think it just came to like second nature, and I don't know, I just feel like I've always kind of been confident. Obviously there's times where I'm like, oh my God, I hate what I'm wearing, I hate the way I look, because I think that's normal, but I feel like you're only what you, like people get what you project. Does that make sense? So, like,
that
if
totally
you
makes
project,
sense.
you're confident, everyone else can be like, she's confident.
Yeah.
So
It seems like you have a very high base layer, whereas like even if sometimes you have self-doubt, as we all have, of like, I don't feel good about my body today or whatever it is, your base layer of self-esteem seems like it was pretty high. Like you were raised with a high level of self-esteem.
yeah, I like definitely give credit to my parents. They raised me like amazingly, and they had my morals and what I should stand for. Yeah, I feel like I know I'm very grateful for my life, and I'm grateful for how I grew up and what I've done. So I try and like be positive as much and confident, because you can always be in a worse state.
It's
be
true.
grateful for what you have.
Amen, Liv. You can really tell that when you were walking in throughout the whole season. You can tell you have an air of like confidence about you and like a very self-assuredness. What has it been like since the villa? I mean, I have so many more questions about your villa time, but like I'm just so curious, because I can only imagine, you know, no matter how confident you are, kind of like what we were talking about before we started recording, hearing the trolls, like you have so much more attention on you. Have you been able to keep your confidence intact in the past year, since your life is so different?
I feel like it was definitely hard coming out. Like I was just a college student working at a bar, and then you go in this, not even knowing during the show that it was blowing up, come out and it's like everyone's looking at your outfits, your hair, your makeup, like, which is obviously like, yes, we signed up for it, but it's crazy to go from like you have your small hometown friends talking about it to a whole world. So it took a little bit of an adjustment, but I feel like I had a really good friendship and like family support system, and they've always said to me like, we know who you are and we love you for that. So as long as you just be authentic and stay true to who you are, at the end of the day, like people are going to love you, and if they don't, they don't. Keep it moving.
Having that strong support system makes it so much easier to be like, the rest of the world is saying this, criticizing this, overanalyzing my outfits.
It's definitely hard. It's very weird line to draw, because it's not hard as if I'm not working 3 jobs in a day, like all night. Like that is hard. But it is hard in the aspect of like, oh my God, I have millions of eyes looking at me. Am I going to slip up? Do they not like I did this? Or I didn't get to explain this situation, but this is what I actually meant. But I mean, I think that just comes with the job, and I wouldn't change it, but I think a support system is really important.
And that's good perspective. That's actually one of the biggest questions that we get asked from our listeners, is about self-esteem, confidence. You know, a lot of people, even not having millions of eyes on them all the time, but still feeling that doubt of like, what are people thinking? Are they judging me? Have you learned anything in the past year with all of the eyes on you of how you've been able to sustain your own self-esteem and kind of not worry so much about the judgment?
Yeah, I feel like meeting people in the industry have definitely helped, and there's like so many great influencers, creators that have been like, it's going to be hard for like a month, and then you kind of stop reading the comments, or you get used to it, or it's like out of sight, out of mind. But I feel like everyone says the same thing, in the sense that you've got to work out like what works for you. Like some people, they can't read the comments at all and everything, and that might ruin their self-esteem. Or you filter comments or whatever it be, but I feel like to stay confident in self-esteem is, I would just say, a support system. And then truly at the end of the day, like you have one life, and not everyone's going to like you. And if they do, please bring yourself forward. Yeah. Because like I want to meet you.
Yeah, literally. If everyone likes you, you are playing too safe.
Yes.
You're not like being authentic to you. Then I think that's very people-pleasing tendencies. And I think that's empowering to feel like I'm going to accept the fact that not everyone will like me, rather than you're trying to hope that you're doing everything you can to make sure everyone likes you. As long as I'm being myself and the people that I love keep me in check and love me and care about me, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and I feel like we all have, it's like, look how different our world is. Like we all have different perspectives and opinions. And I feel like recently I've been learning this and like seeing it play out and stuff. It's like, you can still be friends with someone but not have to accept their behavior and their actions. And I think a lot of people get that a little bit confused. I'm a ride or die friend. Like, I will pull up with you. Whatever we need to do, I'm going to do it. But also, like, I stand up for what I believe is right and wrong. And if I don't believe what you're doing is right, take the friendship out of it. Like, I just believe that action's not right. Doesn't mean I don't think you're a bad friend or a bad person. I mean, a lot of people blur the line.
Yeah, the line gets blurry. Friendship is something that's so tricky. What I have learned, like going through my 20s, is I think this is the time where so many friendships change. And in my opinion, that is the hardest part of your 20s, is because even the people you thought would be there for you forever, people disappoint you, people grow apart, and it's really freaking hard.
Yeah, it's also, I feel like your I can't even speak, developmental years. So it is tricky working out, like, I mean, like, I found it's been hard moving halfway across the world. All my friends, like school friends and like childhood friends, are all not only in a different country, but at a different time zone. So it is weird trying to start fresh, but I feel like in my 20s, I've made some good friends, and I've learned a lot about different friendships and learned about myself from those friendships. So I don't know.
Liv, I can't even imagine, because my family's in Chicago. I have friends in Florida.
Chicago's
great, yes.
And I love Florida.
I know. Well, yeah, you went to school there. Yes. But like, so it was so hard for me to move to LA and miss all my people. I cannot even imagine what it was like for you across the entire world, where all your family and friends are there. What have you done to be able to like formulate a community and family for you here? As an adult, making friends is so hard. So like, what has been your experience?
I try and convince everyone into Australia to come. Like, one by one, I've got one.
I was going to say, it sounds like you're convincing one at a time.
Yeah, it helps that her boyfriend lives in LA, but
that makes a big
that's
difference.
my convincing
yes.
skills.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't really find it hard to make friends, because I'm just very talkative, and I feel like also with the confidence, I'm not shy to go up and say something, which can be a flaw. But
how is that a flaw?
Sometimes it's like, read the room, girl. Like, okay.
Sure. I think that's always to go up and be friendly to people. I'm like, when would that ever not be amazing? It's a gift. It's seriously a gift. I'm glad you use it.
I feel like I'm going to like events and going out, and you just happen to talk to people, I feel like, and just you gotta, once you make that one step, I feel like the ball just keeps on rolling. But I've just friends with obviously my cast, met friends through them, then you go to events and you meet other friends. So it's kind of like a spiraling effect. But
yeah,
I feel like it's good to have a lot of friends, but keep your close ones tight,
yes, close to you. Are you someone that likes to have a lot of friends, or just a few close, or kind of a combo?
I think, to me personally, I think a friend to all is a friend to none.
Agreed. Amen.
Because like, I really value all my friends, and one thing I really value about them is that they say the hard truth, which I think someone who does do that, who is like, the hard truth obviously is not nice in the moment, but has a better outcome later. And I feel like that's a real friend, because they're looking out for you. So that's someone I value, and all my friends kind of like have that quality. So I feel like if you have so many friends.
Agreed. Yeah. Again, with the people pleasing tendencies.
And I get along with everyone. Like,
no. And you wouldn't want to, right?
No.
You want to have fine. Like this. Yes, 100%.
I think it's important to have maybe more than 2 friends.
Yeah.
3.
About 3 is a perfect amount. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, like, as long as your friends are like proper friends, then it doesn't matter how many you have. But I personally would rather have 5 valuable friends. Not saying I have 5 friends. I have a great amount of friends, but 5 valuable friends. Then, like, my pet peeve is someone's like, "Oh my God, this is my best friend." I'm like, really? How did we
13? Yeah.
Oh my God, we got the same coffee last week. Oh yeah. Like, you're not best friends.
No.
Throwing that around.
So that word means a lot to you.
Yes.
If you're best friends, you're like locked in for life.
My friends are like my ride or dies.
Yeah.
Like, they pull me into line. They're my support system. I open up to them. Obviously, you can have friends, but they're like my good friends. I have friends I won't always open up to. Different sort of friends to go out, to go surfing, shopping.
Surfing. You're so
really
cool.
Good to go shopping. I don't surf. I just, maybe in Hawaii.
Surfing friends. Yeah.
You know, those are fun.
No, I think that's also a really good lesson for people to know is every friend doesn't have to be everything to you.
No.
Like you can find different friends. The friends that you want to go out and have fun with are going to be different than the friends that you talk about your business goals with. That's going to be different than the friends that you go to when you're upset, when something's wrong. So to know that not every friend is supposed to serve every purpose, I think is really good advice.
And not to get mad if that friend's not doing it. I mean, okay, if you're confiding in your friend and they're like, I don't know, braiding their hair or painting their nails and not paying you any attention, then yeah, maybe reconsider the friend. But I feel like sometimes, and I learned this too, like not perfect, but sometimes that's not the friend for that situation. And I can't get upset or mad about it or want to throw the friendship away. It's just that's not that person for that time. And it's nothing against them. You just got to look at someone else that might have been there for you, but you wouldn't have seen them as that person you were looking for. So
it's a really hard lesson to realize that with friendships, you really do a lot have to meet people where they are instead of thinking that they're going to be the type of friend that you are to them. I think that's something so many people deal with, is that feeling of like, well, I would never do this to you, or I would do better. Do you feel that? It's hard.
So hard. That's like one thing like I've been trying to, and like my mom is like big on this too, and only because I've said I like want to improve on this, is I don't expect someone to do anything. I never do something to get anything in return at all, because I feel like there's no point in doing it. But sometimes it's like, oh, that hurt because I wish they did that for me. And my mom's like, if you're thinking that way, get out of that mindset. You can't be saying, I wish this. Not that I would ever say it to them. It's just like me and my mom talking, but that's something I'm definitely learning. So it's funny you brought that up. I'm like, oh, every time I'm like, don't.
It is so hard. And something about you that I think is so apparent, like even just watching Love Island, you could tell like your story throughout the whole season was so rooted in friendship. Like you were the girl's girl that had all the girls' backs. Like you could tell how much friendship was so important to you. And you could tell how much you were that like ride or die, I got your back no matter what. And I understand and relate to that. And so I was just thinking, watching it, like, I can't imagine what it feels like when people don't repay that for you. That has got to hurt.
Yeah, like it definitely, it's such a weird like thing to talk about, because it's like, you don't want to come across as like, well, then you're doing it for something in return.
Right.
Like, I cannot be more straightforward that is not why I do stuff.
No.
I love seeing like enjoyment on people's faces. I never want anyone to feel upset or down, and like I will take on that rather than put them in that. So that is why I like to be there for people. But it is sometimes hard, especially like maybe when you're already going through something and you're already down and you're like, damn, I wish someone would check in. But we were actually talking about this in the car, and I might be a little bit wrong, but there was this TikTok we saw, and it was like, what was it? The resilient ones?
Yeah, it was like the people that don't look like they need the help are the ones that kind of want it.
Okay, wait, reiterate that into the mic. I'm like, let's get you a mic. Let's bring her in here.
You've got it.
Wait, I'm like,
no, because that's so good. She explained it so much better. Come here. Yeah, come on.
This is my Australian friend, everyone.
Wow.
Isn't she gorgeous? No,
She's
Love Island, you
gorgeous.
cannot get her. Here.
Oh, wait.
She's like, just see why you describe it. She's like my scribe.
I don't even remember exactly how it went, but it was essentially that the people that from the outside, like say to a group of friends, you look the strongest and able to handle things, they not be the ones that think that they need to check in on you. Because they're like, you've gone through this before, you can handle it. But they're the ones that will go in and check on all their friends and like, well, why don't I have that in return?
Yeah.
But it's actually because they look stronger to the group of people that they're like, they don't need it, they're fine, they can handle it, they can get through it. But yeah, I guess it was kind of more like, you're the one that hasn't, you don't get that, and you're not, that you're expecting it, but you're like, why not me?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Why am I doing that for everyone else, but I look too strong for it?
It's so true. Like, she's a resilient one. Wow, thank you so much. That's the best.
Special guest.
Special guest. It's such a good point, because it's so true. Like, when
People
you're the
expect you to be
resilient
okay.
friend, people are like, oh, she's good. We need her to help us, instead of, oh, is she okay? Should we check on her? What can we do for her?
And they like expect you to be like, I don't know if they hold you to a higher standard, or they're like, you carry yourself well, so they're going to be like, well, you shouldn't have done that, or you should have done this, and not being as lenient. And it's like, just because maybe I'm more confident, or I don't even know, more reassuring, whatever it is, doesn't mean that like I don't need a check-in, or
100%.
or that I can deal with this better. Because a lot of the times I feel like the tougher ones are softies at heart.
And are probably needing a lot more help than
Yes.
anyone around them knows, which means they need extra support. They need extra people to check in. I think it's also like a dynamic where in friendships, some people get used to, oh, I go to you with my problems. So they just get used to that dynamic of like, you're the one that helps me. And it's so often forgotten that, okay, how can I help you? Like, let me check in on you, because you might not be as vocal as other friends are about like, I really need help. I'm going through this. Can you give me advice? That doesn't mean that you don't need someone to check in on you or that you don't struggle. You actually might need friends that are even more open about like, let me check in on you. Even if you look fine, let me check in on you.
No, 100%. I feel like it's like having a conversation with someone, being like, you go to them, how are you? And they go, good, I'm doing da-da-da, and then they go, bye.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry if someone
Not like,
did
good,
that.
how are you?
Yeah.
Right.
So like,
So true.
I'm going through this, buddy, you okay? Like, what are you going through? If they don't want to open up, fine, at least put the gesture. But I always like think of it like that. You asking someone, how are you? And they not even asking it back. You'd be like, are you kidding?
It's
That's like
so
common decency
true.
and like general knowledge to say, how are you back? I think it should be general knowledge to be like, are you okay? Or are you going through anything? Like, even if you don't want to listen, just pretend.
Just pretend.
Sometimes people need to just vent.
Yes, just that's like being a good friend is
Yes.
consistently checking in. I think some people have, it sounds like you're so self-aware that you have that ability to be aware of how other people feel. And some people don't have that. Like they just don't have the capacity or ability, whether it's like self-awareness, whether it's compassion, to really think about like, okay, I'm talking about myself a lot, or this person helped me so much. I wonder how they're doing. I wonder how they feel in our dynamic. And it's a superpower that you have to be that empathetic and self-aware, truly. Like I say this all the time, that empathy is the greatest superpower we have. And so few people have it or practice it.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you do. And like that is a superpower. So even though it like hurts because people don't reciprocate. And by the way, I know that it's not about like, of course it's not, I'm doing this because I expect it in return, because it's like, that's how you love people. So you just expect, I love you, so I'm going to care about you, check in on you. When other people don't do that, it feels like, well, they don't love me. Like I understand that feeling where it's not about reciprocation. It's about like, this is how I show love. So like, what does that mean you feel about me?
No, 100%. I remember in the villa, we were talking about like love languages. I remember Nene, and I never knew this or thought about it until she was saying it, but she was like, what your love language is isn't always what you want someone to give back to you. And I was like, wait, that is so true. I feel like my love language is like acts of service and like quality time. But then I'm like, wait, I don't want that. Like sometimes it's like you can't expect, well, you know what I mean?
It's so true. And do you find that with friendship too? Like you have those love languages show up in friendships and relationships?
Yeah, I feel like obviously there's a difference between relationships and friendships. But for me, a friend, like I can call them whenever. If they don't answer, they'll at least text me back. Or it's hard to spend quality time because we're overseas. But whether that be like on group texts or like if I'm ever in need, like I feel like my friends do all the acts of service.
See, that's what everyone
My
needs.
friends
is
need a
friends to do-
raise.
Yeah. Give the friends a raise.
Bring them in.
No, literally, like to look for people that can love you in all the ways that we can show love. I think that's so important. Like, I love the idea of love languages because it is so helpful to understand, oh, you are giving love differently than how I view love. And so we see where the disconnect is. But I always kind of think that of like, shouldn't we all be doing all the love languages for the people we love most?
Yes. Like, I mean, like you should be doing things for others. Physical touch, I mean, like give someone a hug.
Yeah, like duh.
I'm like, quality time, like that doesn't mean you have to hang out with them. Like text them, spend some quality time. I don't even know the others.
Words of affirmation, like telling people, oh, I love you so much. I'm so grateful you're in my life. Like that feels like just things you should do for the people you love.
Right? Just don't overdo the compliments. They can come across disgenuine.
Yes. And like friends love bomb too.
Yes.
I
Oh my
will
God, you
shout
look
this from
so
the
good,
rooftop.
so good, so good. Like, no,
Yes.
no. Tell me that don't match.
Yeah. Be honest with me. That's a real
honest.
friend. It's going to be like, this outfit is so stupid. Like, change.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Let's put this on, this one, this one. There's nothing worse than a friend that's like, hi. Yeah, like 24/7.
It's so true. You don't want a yes man in a friendship. Like, you want someone that's going to be like, okay, you're being a little crazy
Stand
right now.
up.
Yes.
You
yes.
look like a scarecrow. Like, loosen up.
Yes, let's fix some things.
Yeah.
You want someone that's going to like let you know, I love you so much, I care about you so much, I have your back, like someone that loves you in that way. I know you don't have sisters, but and maybe your brothers are like this, but like the best part about sisters is that we could be like, I love you so much, and then we could be like, but actually I hate this shirt and this looks stupid and I can't believe you did that. That's so embarrassing. Like that's the best part about like good quality relationships is that you trust them so much that they can be honest with you.
Yeah, I have 2 cousins. They're both girls that I'm quite close with that live like near me, so I feel like they're like my sisters.
Yeah, you get the sister bond.
Yeah, I get that time, or I see them going, and I'm like, thank God I don't have sisters.
It's either
I'm like,
or.
I'll stick to the brothers.
Well, I'm sure it's probably like brothers are so drama. I have a brother too. They're so drama free. Everything's so ezy. It must have been a relaxing household to grow up in.
Oh, 100%, but I'm also a middle child and a girl.
Yeah.
Batshit crazy. So I'm like, it was
perfect twist.
It was nice for me. It was probably like, oh my God, here she goes again.
Here she goes again.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Liv.
Now she's going on a show. Are you kidding me?
What do they think of all of this? They must be so proud of you.
Yeah, my family's so proud. I feel like they didn't know what the show was about at the start. Fair enough. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to Fiji and like, you won't be able to contact me. And they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know like if it's real or not. So they're like, okay. But they've always just supported whatever I did and like wanted me to live out my dreams. But yeah, they're incredibly proud.
That's so sweet.
So, yeah,
is Love Island like a thing in Australia?
Yeah.
Okay. Your friends had heard of it. Like it was.
Yeah, my friends who knew it, they were like clocked in. Like I had my friends like fingers hurting by the end of the season. They're like, girl, come on, keep quiet.
Yeah.
I can't be in the comments all the time. But my parents don't really watch reality TV. So I didn't know like a great lot about the show. And like I haven't watched the show like fully through ever. I've seen like episodes from different seasons and stuff. So even trying to explain it, I was like, no, it's not like that. Like I think I'm just like in a bikini every day. My mom's like, oh God.
Did you worry at all about your brothers or your parents watching you like, in a bikini all day, making out with guys? Like, did that ever cross your mind?
Oh yeah, I was terrified. But then I realized Peacock isn't shown in Australia. So I was chilling.
Tea.
And then they found an illegal website. My younger brother, I'm like, how much you want? How much you want? Not that I did anything bad.
No.
And like, they will always be supportive. But going into the show, I was definitely like, kept true to myself and was like, I want to come out and know that I stood on what I believe in. I stood on my morals. I didn't let anyone make me do anything. Or like, I just wanted to be able to come out and be able to back every decision that I did because I did it and not because a friend or a family member told me to act a certain way.
I think that you could tell that about you, especially like, this last season, other reality TV shows, like you can always tell the people that are like, okay, you're really aware of how other people view you. You're aware of how you're coming across on TV. And I think that kind of like ruins characters, if you will, or whatever. Like people can sense that. Whereas you were so authentic and like had so much integrity through the entire season that you could really tell. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like definitely in the first like Love Island I was on, it is hard coming out of the show and like you see everyone's things and people are like, oh, you're switching up here, but it's actually like, I went through that experience. I went in with these characteristics. I learned, I grew, I knew this about me. So now I saw that might not have worked, so I'm going to change on it. It doesn't mean I'm switching up. It doesn't mean I'm trying to people please. I have too much of a big mouth to people please. Like, I'm sorry. I wish and I mean this in a nice way, that I cared what the audience thought, because obviously I do care what they think. But I don't care what they think in the sense that I'm going to change who I am. And I think that was something brought up or a little bit blurred in the new show I'm on. Yeah. That it's like, just because I'm doing a characteristic or behavior different than I did in the first show isn't because I've read what you guys think. It's because I've seen that might not have worked and I've grown and I've spoken to family members and that's something I want to work on. Not because Becky from somewhere wants to.
Becky from Nebraska is like, Liv, soften up.
With me, like, no.
That's a part of growth. Like you being on reality TV is such a unique experience that most of us don't have, to see, oh, I actually saw it this way and actually was completely different now that I watch it back. Like I learned from that. I learned that, how I said this didn't actually come off like the way that I mean it. Yeah. Like it's such a great tool for self-awareness and growth. So 100%. I think that it's a great idea to use it as a skill to like grow and learn from that and become more and more self-aware.
Yeah.
I'm curious how filming Beyond the Villa is for you, because it's such a different experience, obviously, than a, dating competition show. Having like a reality show where they're all in your business or showing your life, your home, your dynamics. What has this experience been like for you?
I feel like it's very different to Love Island, and there's a few things from the sense of like the cameras are filmed in front of our face, whereas before they were hidden.
That's right. Oh, I didn't even think of that. So that's got to be a weird difference. Where are you more aware than of cameras, obviously?
At the start, I was like, it's a big camera. So I'm like, whoa.
And like a man holding it in your face, and like a big boom, right?
Yeah. So like it took a little bit to get adjusted. I feel like also Love Island was like what we did that day was an episode that night, whereas this, we don't have as many episodes. So when there's not as many episodes and there's a lot of cast, not everything can be put in. And I think people also need to remember reality is something that people want to watch and see excitement and be like, ooh, intrigued. And no one's intrigued in anything that isn't have drama in it. Well, like, I'm not watching no show drama, boring. What the hell? You're all getting along? Like,
you're gonna watch people like sit around and braid each other's hair.
If I wanted to watch that, I would watch Disney. Yeah. Like,
we're trying to like bring back Hannah Montana. Like,
hey,
yes.
She's going on tour.
Yes. I'm so excited. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that's something people with the new show need to like also understand, and maybe they do. I haven't really been reading comments or anything, but we are filming 8 episodes. We were filming for 8 weeks. So with a lot of the cast, it's all going into a 40-minute video. Like, not everything's going to be put in. I think people need to understand that a little bit. But I mean, I'm always grateful. I love being on TV and I love sharing my life. But yeah, it's just, this is a new show, so working out what to share, what not, and like how to really show who I am, and maybe not have everyone, like I don't, personally in the show, I don't know if you've seen it, I chose not to bring my relationship on the show because it was still early days. And I just moved to LA and I was finding out who I am, and out of respect to that person too, like that's just the decision we made, and it doesn't mean I'm hiding anything from the audience.
Yeah.
I just want to work everything out, fine for me, and then share.
Yes, and I honestly think that's so smart. Did you do that out of like protection for your relationship, or was it more of like, I don't want to put something out there that when this goes live in 6 months, however long till it actually gets out there, that it's like I'm in a totally different life stage? Like, what was your intentionality behind that?
I think it wasn't that I was like scared or anything that it might not have worked. I feel like I signed up to reality TV and I signed up to put my life on television, and not everyone else did. So I don't want anyone to feel obligated to have to like open up. I feel like it's also early days, and like I talked about it to the sense that it was enough. I respect people who are close to me and stuff, so if they don't want to be on television that moment, I don't have to make them. Also, you hired me.
Yeah, that's right. Like, and also, by the way,
if you want to see more of me, put me more on.
Yes, yeah. Amen. Yes. But it's also like there's so many more factors of you that are so much more interesting than who you're dating. And I think that it's actually a great opportunity to show, here's all the other parts of you. Here's like when you and Kendall went to the hosting coach, like I loved seeing that. That was so cool to see like you guys working towards this career goal. I think that is so much more compelling, and especially like being a woman where we so often get typecasted into like, who are you dating? Let's talk about your relationships. I actually love, I know that this wasn't the reason you did it, but I love that you were like, this is going to be a small piece. I'm dating someone. That's all you need to know. Yeah. But the rest of my life is so much more interesting to put on camera.
No, yeah, 100%. I feel like I like to be like authentic, true, share everything with my fans and the world. So it's not that I'm hiding, it's a secret, it's not real or anything like that. But it's just that I like to put out stuff that not that I don't believe in my relationship, love him, but I like to project things that I like, I'm happy and I know that that person's confident, or I'm confident in that brand. Like my identity and what I put out is important to me, and I want to make sure that it's good for me and the person, or me and the product, me and the brand, whatever it is, before I share that with the world. So yeah, if we have a season 2, it's not that I'm like, not going to put him on.
Tease, yeah, wink, wink.
So, you tune in, you might be able to.
Tune into season 2 to find out more.
Or my Instagram or TikTok. And then you might get a sneak
Plug it out, Liv. Plug it out. No, but I also think too, it also makes a lot of sense how it probably is really overwhelming for you to try to navigate this new life of like in such publicity. Like it really is such an interesting thing with Love Island and your cast specifically, how you were these normal everyday people and then overnight almost you become like the world's biggest fascination. And so it's probably so tough to navigate. Who am I in this new life? Like, how do I keep the things private to me? How do I exist in my own life, in my own relationships? I can only imagine is like a really hard thing to navigate within just a year.
Oh my God, it's so hard. And I feel like we went from like 0 to 100 straight out. And I'm like, I know how to post an Instagram on a Tuesday to like my 1,000 followers. But now how do I like do this whole new life? And how do I work out, like, do I share this? Do I not? Some things like people don't want to know, like some things they do. So I feel like I give credit to having such a good team, and like my manager Georgia, like she's really helped me along the journey and been like, this is what we want, and also what do you want and what do you want to project? Who was Olivia before Love Island? So I got to give credit to her.
It's funny that she's asked you that question. I was literally going to ask you, like, what is it about yourself before Love Island that you're trying to bring forth into who you are now and who your followers know you as?
I feel like who I was before is the same as who I was on the show and after. Like, I stand up for what I believe in. I'm not afraid to say what I think. And I think that is both a blessing and a curse. But I feel like this new show as well, and like coming out of Love Island, people to see who I am in the Australian culture and to see what I have, my passions, my work. I love beauty. I love fashion. I want to get into hosting and doing like panels. I grew up in a sporting household. So I feel like all those aspects, I was on a game show, like about love. They do not care what you watched. They're like, but do you love him?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't want to know my favorite fruit.
Yeah, but you're like, excuse me? Like, I have so many passions and interests I can talk about. Yeah.
They're like, no, tell us why you're passionate about him.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it. Another one.
Do you ever feel the, not like pressure, but just the awareness of like trying to separate yourself from that Love Island brand of it being about dating and relationships and love? Or right now, do you feel happy leaning into that?
I feel like I'm very grateful they gave me the opportunity.
Yeah.
So I was raised where like never forget where you came from. So like without Love Island, I wouldn't have had all these opportunities without the fans. So I do understand that majority of my fan base is Love Island, and that's why they followed me and tuned in. So I think it's just showing them who I am outside of Love Island, but also not being like no association. It's that like fine line.
Yeah, it's like having room to grow without kind of like negating or forgetting that this is how it started. Yeah.
And like I feel like a lot of people followed or loved me because I did say what I was thinking, and I had girls' backs, and so I can't come offline and then be like, to everyone, or, you know what I mean? And then say, not like be shy of not saying what I think, because then I think everyone's like, wait, what is going on?
Which I actually think that's what is so amazing about Love Island and the format, is that it really allows people to get to know your personality, I think, so much more than the Bachelor franchises or anything else. Like, that's why I think you guys become these like huge people compared to other reality TV stars, is because people get to know your personality so well. So like they see how you show up to other people. They see what you're like kind of in an off day when there's no drama happening. Like they get to know you so well. So while yes, a lot of people might have found you through Love Island, people stick around because they love the personality that they saw when they were watching originally, that rings true forever. Like that's who you are.
I believe the show did well, like our season, because I'm not saying the other seasons didn't do this at all. I haven't even seen them.
But they didn't. Your season was like the most iconic, like changed the world.
Thank you. I feel like we all went in like, it sounds bad, but like, what do we got to lose? At the time, I don't think the show was as big as it is now. So we all were authentically ourselves. And in doing that, we were okay to act what might be seen as out of character and not picture perfect. And in doing that, I think the audience were able to follow our journey and relate in some aspects.
That makes sense.
It's hard trying to connect with someone and follow their journey when they're perfect and you're like, oh God, like,
yeah,
I can't be like that. But when you're like, she slipped up, or he said this, or I can't believe he did that, people are like intrigued and form a different bond. And I think that's what our cast was able to do, and show the friendship, especially in the girls, that it's okay to, whether it's have a fight, but look how much stronger we get over it. And that's because we all know who we are, And we all know that there's bigger problems in the world than not getting avocado on toast.
God, although that is an issue, isn't it?
My God, I still love avocado on toast though.
Are you like, oh my God, this is bringing up like too many memories. I got to get out of the avocado on toast thing.
Sometimes I feel like blueberry pancakes are for me because they would like make blueberry pancakes on special occasions, and I was never really a pancake girl. So when someone's like, I'll get blueberry pancakes, I'm like,
You're like the trigger.
I'm like, literally, it's like a trigger word. I'm like, wait, is that one of my cars memes?
That is so funny. The breakfast is everything.
Oh my God,
it's so important.
That and like the little fruit cutter.
Yes,
because
the
everyone thinks we
fruit
don't
cutter.
eat. We eat very well. I was not shy of the cupboard.
Okay, the
Like,
cupboard looks amazing. Every time someone's eating chips out of one of the containers, I'm like, I want
it's
that.
like a magical cupboard. Like you would
Yes.
knock on it and be like, can I have chips? And like magically the chips would
So
appear
it was like always fully stocked. Like any snack you could imagine.
that they could get. I go home, I'm like knocking on the fridge, I'm like, chips.
Yeah, chips. I like
My
chips.
mom's like,
Give
it
me
doesn't work like
M&Ms.
that here.
Not at home,
You have to
Liv.
actually go get it.
You're like, no, I'm not
know.
from the grocery store.
I know. I'm like, oh.
That's
But I
so
know I
funny,
loved
though.
it.
No, but I think you're so right about the authenticity, even though authenticity is like such an overused word
everyone's like, "I'm
nowadays.
so
Yeah, everyone's like,
authentic."
I'm being authentic. But it's so true that like
Ew.
your cast and your season was so authentic. I think is like that's why people click so much.
Yeah. I feel like being authentic is like being okay to like slip up.
Yes, being okay to slip up. Yeah.
I think there's obviously a line. Some things are like definitely don't cross. But I think sometimes it's like okay to like not be perfect. A pet peeve of mine is when someone's like, I'm so authentic. Look how messy my room is. It's not authentic.
You're like, oh, I'm dirty. I'm so relatable. Yeah.
Oh my, yeah,
You're
I
like,
don't wash my
"Please."
beauty blender.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's so true.
It's not relatable.
You're like, no, please. That
I
is
don't even
not.
own a beauty blender. Like,
And that's relatable.
do you own one?
Yes, but it's dirty as hell. Relatable.
Yeah.
But no.
Look at us being like, I'm relatable because I don't
Yeah.
own one.
Yeah, yeah. But it's so true of like, I think authenticity is taken in such a kind of, it's like such a buzzword that people almost like ruin its definition.
Like when girls be like, I'm a girl's girl. If you have to tell me you're a girl's girl, you're not.
Liv, go off on the girl's girl because it's so true. When people are always like, I'm a girl's girl, I mean, you're not if you have to say that all the time.
It's like, do the rich walk around saying, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm
Literally.
rich. No, it's the ones that are wearing fake designer that are like, look at my car.
100%.
You have to keep telling me it's fake.
In your guys'
Sorry.
season, did you say girls girl ever? Like I feel like
No.
that you just were girls.
I feel like we'd all look at each other and be like, come on now.
Yeah, please. Yeah, come on.
You didn't just say that.
The girls girl thing is so funny. The other thing I'm so kind of like amazed about the Love Island experience is also with it coming out of like, you know, I keep calling it an overnight success, but it really is like you come in as normal people. I keep calling you normal people.
Come on.
And you come out a star, a global
Sounds like
star.
Willy Wonka's factory.
It is. You come into the chocolate factory and you come out a star. But it's such an interesting phenomenon. And like when it comes to like money and career, you come out with all these opportunities. What did you learn about success, money in the past year that you think like the Liv prior didn't know?
Oh, I had no idea about the money in this industry.
You didn't even like think about it.
No. I used to think
Hashtag
like,
authentic.
yeah, so authentic, so real. I used to see like people doing PR. I'm like, oh God, I wish. But I feel like one thing I did, and not saying this isn't mentioned at all, but like how a lot of creators, like how actually creative they are and how hard they work. I've seen a lot of people, they're working like 9 to 5. And you probably be like, what? They're just doing a TikTok dance? True, they are probably doing a TikTok dance, and that's not hard. I'm not disputing that at all. And there's way harder jobs. But there's a lot of people that are sitting there, they're editing, they're coming up with concepts that are able to sell a product or get your attention without you knowing. And I feel like that's a really big skill.
And a really hard thing to do, by the way.
Yeah, try and sell something to someone without doing it. I'm like, by the end of it, I'm like, just please buy.
Please, I beg you.
Please. But I feel like, yeah, I definitely learning about like what the space is. I do have a communications degree, so I do understand bits of it, but understanding how there's different niches within this space and how to sell something properly and the business aspect behind it, like brands and formulating brand relationships. So I feel like that's something I'm really passionate about, besides in just the putting a face to a product or a face to a name. So I love all the like, how did they create this? Or what was their marketing strategy behind this? Did they use red because red's going to attract the eye more? So I feel like there's a lot more than just a TikTok. But then again, it is just a TikTok.
Sometimes it is just a TikTok dance, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But it sounds like, seriously, that you're so smart about it to understand, like, there's so much strategy behind that. Like, it's marketing, it's sales, it's communications. There's so much strategy.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really smart way to approach this new industry that you've been in.
Yeah, I feel like you have to find your audience. And I actually learned this on the show in that episode I did with Kendall and Marky, the coach. And she was like, too many people online are being like, hey, everyone. She's like, you're so naive to think everyone's watching it. You need to narrow down into your niche audience and make that a community. And it's like you see the believers and the Swifties. Obviously, they're at a bigger scale, but making a name and working out what your audience love and having them feel like they're a friend of yours and like having that friendship online is like the key to success. Because otherwise you can have heaps of followers and it's an algorithm at the end of the day.
That's such interesting advice. When I'm recording podcasts, I think it's overwhelming when you think of like this many downloads, this many listens, whatever. And so I always think of like I'm speaking to these like handful of girls that I like continuously talk with on Instagram and things like that are like really engaged. I like think that this is only for them. And I feel like when you are really aware of like who is this small amount of people that connect with me and love what I'm doing, and you like create content for them, speak to them, even if you have millions and millions and millions of followers, I feel like that mindset shift is what really helps come across authentic. God, I hate us.
No, I hate that we keep saying it. Should we say
what's
real?
wrong with us? Yeah, it's so real. It's
But
so
I feel
better.
like you're right. When you have that small group of community, they're the ones that are going to take it to the business aspect. They're the ones that are going to buy your products.
Buy your products, yes.
They're the ones that are going to turn up to your events. I've seen so many creators that you have, this is something I'm like trying to build, but they have so many followers, but they don't have that sort of community or group that like stands behind them. Like I think one creator who I absolutely adore her, and she has such a good community, and that comes from her being real online, opening her life. But do you know Tiana?
I don't think so.
I
No.
don't want to say her last name wrong, but Robler. Oh, do I have my phone? Wait,
Okay, I'll have to look her up.
You got to look it up. So she is someone I absolutely adore. Not only is she a beautiful person inside and out, but she's someone who you can see really like, she's so business savvy, but she knows what her audience wants. And I feel like she puts herself in the shoes of the audience and be like, okay, would I be engaged? Would I actually want to buy this? And whether that be her not always having the perfect lashes on and straight hair and actually just waking up in the morning, or whether that be her being like, you know what, I tried this product and I don't actually like it. I really look at her and strive to see what she creates and be like, okay, she's a great example of someone who has a big audience because of how she was able to connect with them.
It sounds like she makes this big audience feel small.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like feel like they're her best friends.
Because also like why? Like at the end of the day, why are we posting content if not to allow people to feel that like, oh, I have a community? Like especially as women, we need community now more than ever. That's the best way to use a platform.
No, 100%. Like she does it really well.
That's good advice. I'm gonna go seek
Love
out.
you, TT.
Liv, you are a smart business person, okay?
She's gonna pay me $500.
Oh, and you get a commission for every follower you
Is that
direct.
okay, TT? Do I need to go a little bit more?
www.
She's like, you didn't drop my next event. I'm like, fuck.
Everyone
She
show
didn't
up.
pay me. This is important.
Okay, Liv, we're gonna wrap up with some rapid fire questions.
Okay, I'm excited.
What's one thing you would tell the Liv walking into the villa a year ago?
What would I tell her?
What would
we
you
did?
tell her?
Okay, stand up for what you believe in. Never forget mascara and a lip liner.
Yes.
Always. Don't crouch over. Same thing I feel like she already knows, but like stay true to yourself, make friends with people, try and listen to all perspectives, don't jump the gun, and have a good time. And I'm proud of you. That's what I tell her.
Does that make you cry a little bit? That made me cry to hear that.
I'm like a year ago, I'm like, don't even know if
I know. Does it make you emotional to think about like that version of you? If she could even know all that you've accomplished in the year.
Yeah, no, crazy. I feel like if I think about like just before I went into the villa when I didn't have a phone and I was sitting there and like, am I about to make the worst decision of my life, or is this going to be something great? And I'm like so grateful for where I come from. And like sometimes I need to remind myself and not be so hard because I am a very harsh critic. So I'm proud of her. I don't know if she'd be proud.
She would be so proud. Oh my God. Of course. Of course.
She'd be like, probably give me a kick and be like, pick up the pace with some work.
Get it together. Yeah. No, it's always really the most helpful thing, especially when we have that, like, we get in our heads about what people think or these challenges or whatever. I say this literally, I feel like every single podcast episode, my listeners are like, we get it. But I always say, like, to think about your previous self, whether it was, you know, you a year ago, whether it's like your 5-year-old self, if they could see what you were doing now, they would be like, what? This is so cool.
For real.
And I think having that perspective helps us weirdly be more present.
No, I think I need to, like, shift back into that mentality a bit more, but I know for a fact, like, 10-year-old me would be like, hell yeah, she's super cool.
Liv, she'd be geeking out, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, yes.
Yeah, girl, that's me. Wait.
Yes, 23-year-old Liv, you go, girl.
She's probably trying to, like, speed up the pace. So she could get there.
That's such a good answer. Okay, what's one dating green flag that you now swear by and one red flag that your past self would have missed?
So green flag that I now swear by, I don't know if it's green flag, but, like, open communication. Like, I think old me used to be like, no, I don't want to bring it up because it could like cause a fight or something, but it's okay to be open, have a mature conversation. I think that's super important. And also, like, having your alone time, like, you have to have your own passions.
Yes,
Because
that is such good advice.
otherwise you start morphing into them and then you start losing yourself. Like, no. I feel like when two people are strong, the relationship's even stronger.
When they each have their own life and then come together to share it instead of depend on the other for their life, that is the recipe for a good relationship.
And then a red flag. I feel like I'm very generous, and sometimes I can be very naive and be like, oh, it's fine. They're not doing anything to, like, this is that giving it back. But I feel like at some point a relationship has to be 50-50. So I feel like a red flag would just be, I don't even, like, and this is a red flag, mine. I used to cause fights sometimes so that they would show me that they cared.
The little bit of toxicity that you're like, oh yeah,
add
a little spice.
But if I have to do that, then you're not showing me enough. And I'm not a needy person.
Do you feel like you've grown out of that? Because that is
Yes.
like a toxic thing that is hard. Like, I've been there 100%. But you feel like you've grown out of that?
Yeah, I feel like nitpicking a lot of the time, or looking for, they might be 80% good and 20% bad, and I'm looking for that 20%. I think you might find that 20% good in someone else, but they're 80% bad. So stop looking for the flaws.
Yeah, so
actually work on
true.
them.
Focus on the 80%.
Yeah.
Yes, that's great advice. Fill in the blank. If everyone had this one habit, it would change their life.
Oh, we were talking about this. Okay.
Are you guys going over the rapid fire questions? Like, what's my answer?
Yeah. Okay. Let me think. Okay, this is a hack. Probably people know, but I love this. I love lip liner. Like, I will literally die on a cross for lip liner. But use the back of the lip liner to blend it in.
I'm sorry. I am gagged.
Like, don't use your finger, then it's on your finger. And I'm clumsy, so I will, like, touch my white shirt, and then I'll be like, shit.
You literally flip it over, use the back, and smudge
like,
it a
I
little.
wish I had a lip liner with me, but you obviously put on the lid, and lip liners at the back are circle.
Yeah.
So you blend it in.
That is the most genius thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I feel like some people probably would know, but I don't know.
I've never heard
I
that.
love.
What's your favorite lip liner?
Oh my God, so many. I love MAC. I love Cork. Well, I love NYX. I love, what's that one we use? Makeup by Forever.
Ooh.
Good. Kosas do a great one.
I love everything Kosas does, but I've never tried their lip
Oh
liner.
my God, love theirs.
Okay.
Theirs is like, I'm not a gloss girl.
You just do lip liner and that's
Yeah,
it.
I have extensions. There's no gloss. Sorry. I have an extension across half my face if I did that.
Okay. That is honestly the best advice I've ever heard. Last one, a book, quote, or mindset that changed your life.
Oh, a book, The Let Them Theory.
Ugh, such a good one. Okay, Liv, where can everybody find you?
In LA. No.
Come find me.
Come find
My
me.
address is blah, blah, blah.
Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Olivia Walker. I don't even know my ads. Search my name.
So cool. You'll
Liv.
find
If you
her.
write Liv, that's the craziest thing. All my ads are Olivia, but I go by Liv.
Oh, you should change that.
I know I need
Rebrand to Liv.
Well, no one called me Liv until I went into the villa, and I was like,
Stop.
"Hi guys, I'm Liv." My mom's like, "No one's ever called you Liv."
Oh, that's so interesting. I love a rebrand
I'm
though.
really authentic.
You can be, yeah, you're the authenticity. Okay, thank you so much,
Thanks,
Liv.
Grace,
This
so
was
much
so
fun.
fun. You're the best.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm getting the eyes that we
No,
went
no,
way
that
over.
Wait, that was me because I just talk.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. I know I sure did. Please do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe. It really makes a huge difference for our show so we can keep growing and bringing the content that you love. If you want more info, you can find us at the Everygirl Podcast on Instagram or theeverygirlpodcast.com. Talk to you next week.